a license to pursue dreams. And this, I think, actually has to do with probably a lot of you have heard about Google's 20% time. How many people here have this concept that you get to spend 1 day a week working on whatever you want to work on? And it's interesting because it almost never plays out like that, right? What we see happen is, it's not like people really religiously say, okay, every Friday I'm working on exactly what I want to work on. Sometimes people do that, but more often, they'll work on their core project for a few months, and then they'll take some time off of that and work on their 20% project for a few weeks. Or they'll work on it on the weekends, or they'll work on it on the evenings. But it's not nearly as principled as 20% time. But there's a couple of interesting observations I've seen come out of this. One is that people will say, have often asked me, well, 20% time, doesn't that just mean you're giving away 20% of your productivity? Because these guys are going to go and work on whatever they want to work on. And in response to that argument, I went and mapped the last 6 months of 2005, all of the Google product launches and all of our feature launches, and tried to determine which ones came from 20% time and which ones were, came through the normal process. And the answer was 50%. So 50% of what Google launched in the second half of 2005 actually got built out of 20% time. It turns out when you take really smart people, give them really good tools, they build really beautiful, amazing things that are really exciting. And they do it with a lot of passion and momentum in such a way that you actually see 2.5 times the output of what you would expect given the time. So I think that's a really strong statement. But when I thought about 20% time, the key isn't that it's 20% or 1 day a week. It's that I think that our engineers and our product developers see that, and they realize that this is a company that really trusts them, that really wants them to be creative, and really wants them to explore whatever it is that they want to explore. And it's that license to do whatever they want that really ultimately fuels a huge amount of creativity and a huge amount of innovation.